Got another RDA for you guys. Rebuildable dripping atomizer. Okay, you build your coil, you drip, and you vape. That's just for you newbie vapors out there that are watching going, it's a rebuildable dripper. Well, now you know. And today I'm going to be talking about this Quasar RDA, an RDA that's been around the block. It's been around the block. It's been around for a long time, so I am a little late to the party getting to this review. I've had this, been vaping on it for about 2 to 3 weeks now. And originally I wasn't going to review this. When I first received this about a month ago, I wasn't going to review it because there's been so many reviews on this product, but I vaped it, and I'm telling you what, the quality of the vape, the flavor I get off this device is fantastic. It's not for everyone, and I'm going to get into that. First thing I'm going to go over is the price. Okay, the place where I received this from, you have two options. You have the black Delrin AFC ring option or the copper AFC ring option. And this black Delrin runs $115 while the copper runs $120. Now the specs, this thing is a 22 millimeter dripper, and this thing looks the tits on all my mechanical mods. Actually, you know what? Every device that I own, this thing's been compatible to, has fit down, has made connection. The deck on this device is super, super, super tiny. I mean, it is the smallest deck that I've seen on a 22 millimeter dripper ever. It has a 3-post design on the deck, okay? And then the holes in the post are 1.5 millimeters in diameter. The juice well is only 1 millimeter deep. 1 millimeter deep. Other than the black Delrin AFC ring, the rest of this device is made of stainless steel. Now, what they don't market is what type of stainless steel. Is it 304, 303? Not sure. 316? Just like a lot of these other drippers nowadays, you got an outer sleeve and an inner sleeve slash top cap. Inner sleeve slash top cap fits inside the outer sleeve, which fits on the deck. You got 2 Cyclops slots on the outer sleeve, the black Delrin outer sleeve, and then on the inner sleeve, the stainless steel inner sleeve slash top cap, you've got 3 Cyclops slots, which means you can run this sucker in single coil, dual coil, or quad coil. On the black Delrin AFC ring, you've got the Quasar logo. And then on the base, you've got a serialized engraving along with the Cosmic Innovations logo. The pin at the 510 connection is stainless steel, and it looks to be adjustable, but it's not. Something that's totally different about this dripper than any other dripper that I've dealt with is you have the O-rings. The O-rings sit on the inside of the AFC ring, the black Delrin AFC ring, versus on the lip. On the deck. See, all these other drippers, you have O-rings that sit on the outside of the deck. Not this one. It sits on the inside of the AFC ring, so when you slide it over, that's how you fasten it. You'll see what I'm talking about when I show you guys in the close-ups. Back to the super tiny deck on this device. Because of the super tiny deck, you have a reduced chamber, which is supposed to give you a fuller, more intense flavor. So those are the specs for this Quasar RDA. Now on to the quality, the machining. What do I rate it? And you guys know this. From now on, I'm going to start rating these devices between a 1 and 10 scale. Doesn't matter which device, tank, mod, RDA, etc. To me, a 6, 6.5 is about average. Anything below that is below average. Above average is obviously 7, 7 to 8. Anything above 8 is spectacular. And for this Quasar RDA, I rated it a 7 out of a 10. There were quite a few scratches underneath the top cap. You'll see what I'm talking about when I show you guys in the close-ups. Machine oil, as far as machine oil, I mean, I didn't taste any machine oil. I cleaned it, scrubbed it down once, vaped it, and got full-on flavor. Now the performance. I know that's what you guys are waiting for. How does this thing vape? Well, first of all, I'm using 28 gauge, and I've got a regular standard microcoil in here, reading 1.7 ohms. I'm vaping her at 25 watts. Got her sitting on this Vapor Shark RDA 30. Here we go. Oh yeah, and I got to run it in single coil mode. You guys should know that. But you can run this thing in dual, like I mentioned, or quad. So running this thing in single coil mode, I got her wide open. You guys see it. I mean, she's fogging, chucking, whatever you want to call it, blowing. She's doing it. Now I'm going to close her off a little bit. Close her off about halfway. The flavor intensifies, the heat intensifies. You know what? Wide open is my preferred for this device. For an RDA with adjustable airflow like this, you got the Cyclops slots. I mean, you'd think you'd have more of an airier draw, but you don't. With the setup I have right here, the single coil with the slot wide open, it's equivalent to something like a 1.8 millimeter air draw. And for some of you cloud chasers out there that want that airy draw, you want to just feel air, warm air, you're not going to like this device. I mean, it is a warm to hot. Obviously, it's got a reduced chamber, a a tiny deck, the airflow wide open, you still get, like I said, equivalent to something like a 1.8 millimeter air draw, and it's a restrictive lung hit. I mean, that's what you're going to get with this device. Even when you run this thing in dual coil and you got the 2 slots open on either side, wide open, you still get that nice, tight, lung restrictive hit. I like it. Actually, you know what? That's what I prefer. And that's why I'm reviewing this. Because I feel like this thing is outdated. And even though it's outdated, with the vape quality that I'm getting off this, I felt like it needed a review by me. Because I've been enjoying it. I'm getting full-on flavor. The flavor is good. Taking her up to 30 watts, again, with this 1.7 ohm build. Single coil build using 28 gauge Canthal. Wide open. I mean, but she's blowing. The vape quality, the flavor I'm getting is just top notch. As far as something compared to like the Plume Veil, the Veritas, and then there's another one, the Vertex. I've already reviewed it. But that Vertex, man, the Vertex RDA version 2 is stellar. It's not quite as good as the Vertex, but as far as something like the Veritas, the Plume Veil, I mean, it's pretty darn close. Like I said, flavor is good. I mean, it's very, very satisfying. Gives me warm to dense vape. First, the pros. This thing, this Quasar, is a 22 millimeter dripper. Fits and is compatible on all my mechanical mods and my variable voltage, variable wattage devices. Because of the tiny deck and the reduced chamber, you get killer flavor. I mean, it makes a big difference. Now, that could be a con, and we'll get into that in the cons. But for me, it's a pro. Big plus that you can run this thing in single coil mode, you can run it in dual coil mode, or you can run it in quad coil mode. Single coil is a winner for me. I love it. I'm a single coiler, gotta have it. Another cool thing about this device is the placement of the O-rings. The O-rings sit inside the AFC ring. There's no O-rings on the lip deck or the deck. It fits over there. Surprisingly, it fits snug as a bug. I love the way the tolerances are with this top cap, the outer barrel fitting on the deck. And surprisingly, I haven't had any leaking out of the base. Another cool thing about this device is the AFC. It's easy to adjust. It's almost too easy to adjust, but here's the good thing. You adjust it with the top cap. Okay, I'll show you guys in the close-ups what I'm talking about. But you adjust it with the top cap and it's super easy. It's almost too easy to adjust. And at first I thought this was going to be a major con, but actually it's not, because it does not adjust from the bottom. Okay, some of these other devices, they adjust from both sides. This just adjusts from the top cap, and usually I don't have any issues with it. Now, someone who's put it in their pocket, who's running around, put it in their shirt pocket, or is just out and about, they may have an issue with it spinning. It may be a con, but for me, I'm just sitting it on a desk. I don't have any issues, and I love the fact that it's easy to switch. So if I want to go halfway open, I can do it like that. If I wanted to go full open, all the way open, wide open, I could do it like that. Easy peasy, what a sleazy. But again, that could be a major pro for others like myself, or it could be a major con for others. Every drip tip that I've used or owned has fit, has been compatible, snug as a bug. Now the cons. First, the price. A little too steep in my opinion, 115 bucks with the black Delrin, and then for the copper, it's 120 bucks. Okay, it needs to be below 100 bucks. That's just my opinion though. Second con, this device does not have an adjustable pin at the 510 connection. It looks to have an adjustable pin, but it's not adjustable. Airflow control. It does have airflow control, but some of you guys may argue that it's not giving you enough airflow, it's too tight. That's all subjective. For me, I love the airflow. I like that tight, restrictive lung hit. Some of you other guys out there gotta have that airiness, man, and you don't get that with this device. Also, the post holes are 1.5 millimeters in diameter. That's too small for some of you guys. I know it is. Some of you guys out there that want to use the 22 gauge, the 20 gauge wire, even lower. Some of you crazy asses. You're not gonna be able to do that with this device. Again, this thing's been out for months, guys. It's been out for months, so it's definitely been surpassed. It's definitely not quite as evolved as some of these other RDAs, but it's been around longer. So those are the pros and the cons for the Quasar RDA. Let's go ahead and dive down. I'm going to show you guys a close-up, broken apart, how to put it back together. Oh yeah, you ready? Let's go. So here's the box this Quasar RDA comes in. And as you guys can see, the manufacturer's logo and name up top, Cosmic Innovations. What's cool is on the side of the box you can see the serial number for this device, 1368, made in the good old Philippines. And then on the other side you can see their Facebook page. Pop the lid and inside is the Quasar RDA. Here's the Quasar all broken down. You've got the deck, you've got the black Delrin outer ring, and then you've got the top cap / inner ring. And here's the deck, and look how tiny this deck is. Look how small that juice well is. Small. 3-post design. The post holes are 1.5 millimeters in diameter, and it uses Phillips head screws to tighten down to make connection with all your leads. Notice anything different about this deck? There's no O-ring. We'll get into that in a second. But here's another quick look at the top of the deck. 510 connection, compatible with all my mechanical mods, my variable voltage, variable wattage devices, and then you've got this stainless steel pin right here at the base. It is not adjustable, by the way. And then at the base you see Cosmic Innovations BD-1368, which is your serial number. Here's the black Delrin outer ring. Now on one side you've got this Cyclops slot, and then as you guys can see on the other side you've got another Cyclops slot. Now remember how I mentioned there is no O-ring on the deck? Well, that's because the O-rings sit inside this barrel. No O-rings at the top, just at the base where it fits over the deck. And then this top groove up here is for one of the O-rings on the inner barrel of the top cap. Fastens right into that groove, snaps into place. And here is the top cap / inner barrel. You've got these 2 O-rings, and then you got 2 Cyclops slots that are parallel for your dual coilers or your quad coilers, and then you turn it, and then you got that one slot, that one Cyclops slot for your single coilers. Underneath the hood, you got a conical type design. Now look at those scratches. It came to me like that. That conical type design is supposed to intensify the flavor on top of the top cap. Drip tip hole. All the drip tips that I've used, just like I mentioned in FaceTime, have been compatible. Top cap / inner barrel fits into the outer barrel, the black Delrin outer barrel, just like so. Watch it, it'll click into place, you'll hear it snap, and that's one of those O-rings snapping into that groove on the inner upper part of this black Delrin barrel. Boom, just like that. Adjustable airflow time. You just twist it, and right now we're running it in dual or quad coil mode, dual air hole mode I mean. And to adjust that, you just twist it, close her off, close her off, close her off, or you can open her wide up just like you just saw. And then in here, that slot right there is for your single coil. So we're just gonna go ahead and slide, boom, single coil mode. Closed off on the other side, close her off, close her off, close her off, open her up. And that's how to work the adjustable airflow, guys. This is the easiest AFC ring that I've dealt with in a long time. Once you've got your airflow all ready to go, you just pop it right in front of your coil. She pops into place. She's ready to rock and roll. So that is the Quasar RDA. Let's go ahead and take her back to FaceTime. The shop that I received this RDA from is a shop by the name of shopmvg.com. Shopmvg.com. I'll have a link in the description. Do I think it's worth it? If they hadn't sent it to me for review, would I have purchased it? No. 115, 120 bucks. Too high for me for an RDA. Like I said, below 100 bucks. It's good in my book. A little too high. There's other RDAs out there that give me just as good a flavor as this, that are cheaper than this, and are more accessible. This is Rip Trippers, and remember, smoking is dead, vaping is the future, and the future is now.